Hi there, I am so glad that you're joining me for this, which is day one of our Punny Valentine's Day card series. And it's just sweet. I think this would be super fun to do with your kids. It would be really, really special to send to one of your grandkids. How fun would that be for them to get this in the mail? And I've got a series of these punny cards, and I've also got some Valentine's Day cards that do not involve puns. So there's some really beautiful ones coming up as well that I think you'll enjoy. So I hope you stick around and let's get into this one. Okay, we're going to start off very simply here and draw a circle. And I'm drawing it very lightly and a little bit wobbly. This is going to be a little bunny. And then we're going to give a little bit of an indication of a head. And we're going to do a couple wonky ears, one going up like this. And the other one, let's have it bent over like this, because we love a wonky ear. All right, and then for the tail, we're going to do, it's going to be a heart shape. And if you need to draw that in first, that's fine. I'm just going to make it a very wobbly heart because this is the tail. Okay, so I want it to be fluffy. I hope that you can see those lines, but I'm going to lighten these lines for me. Well, I guess I'm lightening them for you too, because this is going to be these are going to be light colors that I'm using. I'm going to make the bunny pink. You make it whatever you'd like. And let's see, I'm going to use a size 10 brush. I'm going to start with just clean water and go around the circle of the body. And I will be avoiding the tail because I don't want that to be painted quite yet. So let's just get the body nice and wet for us. And then we'll put some pink in here. And we want it to be wet but not puddling. So we're just trying to tell the paint where to go, so to speak. So I'm going to wet the body because that's the only thing that I want to paint right now. Actually, you know what? I can go right into the head too because it's going to be the same-ish. All right, and I'm using some watered down red, which will be pink. That's the thing with watercolors. If you want pink, you don't add white to red like you might if you were doing acrylics. You just add more water and then you'll have your pink that you're going for. And if it's too light, then you just add more color to it or remove some water. All right, just filling that in and going around our tail here, which I know is hard for you to see, or I'm assuming it's hard for you to see because it's hard for me to see. All right, now you can see the heart though, I'm sure. All right, and then let's go right into our ears. And I probably don't need to wet the ears first, but I'm going to because I really want it to be pink and not red. And this is just going to help to dilute that color a little bit. Is that the word I'm looking for? Dilute the color? I don't know. You know what I mean, right? All right. I'm just going to dot that in there a little bit. Get some water. Tap it on my paper towel. Spread it around. I've got a little bit too much water in this ear, so I'm going to mop some of that up. And by mop it up, I mean I dab it on my paper towel so that there's not very much water on my brush. So it's just kind of damp, and then it acts as a sponge. All right. And there we have our little bunny. Okay. That's done. Well, kind of. We're going to do a little bit of variation of color here. Oops, got a little thing on my brush. So we're just going to, while that's still damp, we're just going to kind of just put some dark here and there. I guess I didn't really think this through, but I'm kind of thinking the light is coming from this side, so we're making it maybe have a few little shadows over on this side of the bunny. All right. And everything is still a little bit wet, so you can see it's just nicely blending in. All right. And I like it. I like the variation there. I like the lightness over here. And we're going to let this dry. And then we'll come in with the tail and we'll work on the tail. All right, this is all dry. Now for the tail, I am going to add just a little bit of gray. I'm going to use, it's kind of Payne's gray, but kind of not because I just have stuff in my palette. So I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to wet it with clean water. And that way I can just dab the color in here and there, and it'll just kind of do its thing. You know, sometimes you just gotta let watercolor do its thing. So see what I'm doing here? Just kind of dabbing, 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 dabbing. And then it'll kind of give the tail some extra texture and fluff and whatnot. So do that. And then I am going to add some white fluff as well with some bleed proof white or a gel pen. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna let this dry first. Oh, and maybe you noticed some things over here, but that's okay because I'm going to use, this is going to be a line and wash, and it's going to be fine. We're going for whimsy. We're just having fun. And I'm going to grab some bleed proof white. Okay? Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white. You can use gouache if you have it. You can use acrylic paint. You can use craft paint, a gel pen, whatever you might want. But I'm just going to grab some bleed proof white and add a little bit of fluff to the tail. And again, everything is dry. Oh, my bleed proof white was kind of crusty, honestly. Okay. So I'm just going to dot around the heart here and make her fluffy. That's the goal anyway. We'll see what it looks like. I did not practice this. I'm winging it here. I've got some fun Valentines in mind, and so I hope you have fun with these. You know, the other thing with Valentines, I don't know, do kids still trade Valentines? Do they do homemade ones? Do they just buy the ones at the store? I get that if you do. Saves time. But if you wanted to do handmade Valentines for people, for your kids or whatever, your kids' friends, you could, let's say you're like, oh, I just love this one and I want everybody to have it. Just do this one and scan it and make copies of it on your printer if you've got a color printer. And then you can just do one thing and have them done. So just an idea. So you don't have to do 15 or 20 different Valentines. You know what I mean? Okay, that's all dry. I'm going to start with a Micron 005. You can use anything at this point. Everything's dry. You're not going to add any more water or color, so you don't have to have a waterproof pen. So use what you got. But I'm going to make this even more whimsical and fun in my mind. You know, line and wash is not for everybody, so if it's not for you, you can just leave it just as it was. But I like real scratchy lines, and I think it just finishes it off super duper nicely. And we'll see what you think. See, that's where you can kind of cover up that little blotchy, splotchy thing that happened over there. Just do scratchy lines, and then made it look like you did everything on purpose. You know what I mean? All right. And it's up to you if you want to kind of add some more fluff. I'm just kind of doing little kind of indications of more little fluffiness here on the outside of the white. Maybe it wasn't dry because that's not working. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I do like that black around there. Okay. And up to you if you want to kind of do a little bit of the neck here. I think I do, obviously. I just did. All right, and we're done with the bunny, and now I'm just going to write my little message that says somebody loves you. And there you have it. Valentine's 1, all done. Okay, breaking in at the end here just to show you. I did end up darkening the letters. I just went over them a little bit, thought that looked a little bit nicer. And I hope you have so much fun with this. Enjoy. See you in the next video.